So don't get so close. See how you're hitting with your knees?
Yeah.
You gotta give yourself the right distance. So if you're stepping like this and you end up on your knees, it's too close. Small step. Because he comes to my gym too.
Right.
He's the main event, so
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's like 9 o'clock. He'll probably end up fighting 9 or 10, right?
Dope.
You're going down, right? No, I gotta work.
Yeah, because basically, when you get the fight, I'm gonna make a highlight out of it for him.
Yeah, he's gonna. It's gonna be good, dude. He's scary. Nico is scary.
It's funny because you see a lot of beginning pictures. He's happy. Right when he gets to the fight, though, he's like no smiles anymore.
It's funny. He does that. He does that when we do our pad sessions.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
We'll be joking. We'll be in the ring and we'll be joking around, and then like it's time to hit, and he goes like this. I can't even do it because he like his face goes completely serious, and he goes like this, just like a zombie. You know what I mean?
The light switch, right?
Yeah. He goes from here, big smile to.
Yeah. I love it.
He's improved a lot. So.
How many years have you been working with him?
With him, not long. Probably maybe like a year.
Okay.
Yeah. He. What happened is he came from Brazil. He came with Marlon and Edson from Brazil. Mm-hmm. That's my understanding of how he got here. And then at one point he left. I had only worked with him a little bit before he left, so he left and moved back down to Florida.
Oh wow.
And then he came back just recently, and we really started working more so than when he came back. So he's good, man. All the kids here are good. All of them have like it's beautiful because they got a whole like a young team, you know.
Right.
Like a bunch of young guys that are like piece of clay. You know, so it's like anything I show them or anything like anyone shows them.
Right.
You know, because we got a really good group of people here.
Right.
You know.
That's amazing because usually you get people have some bad habits when they get trained or whatnot.
You get that too.
You say you're clay, so it goes easier.
Yeah, it's easy.
Wow.
It's easy because they're young and they're. You know what makes it good? Most of them come from like a wrestling background or they did some type of martial arts before, so then it's easier.
Right.
You know, if you get someone who doesn't have like a wrestling background or any type of martial arts background and they just like maybe picked up MMA somewhere that trains it all together, you know, it's no good.
Yeah, it's like trying to juggle when you don't know how to throw a ball or something. You know what I'm
Exactly, that's exactly what happens. Unfortunately, in MMA today, a lot of schools like try to just sell the MMA thing and train MMA all together. You know what I mean? Like you have to separate the arts in order to get proficient in something.
Right, exactly.
You know, because you need that.
I come from.
Woo! Drink that shit too fast.
Drank the whole.
Oh yeah.
Which one did you get?
I got the one was like the knockout. Yeah. Is that the one you get?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a peanut butter fiend. So I went
too. I'll eat like a whole jar of peanut butter.
Yup. Middle of the night, hungry, wake up, a little peanut butter.
My wife is like, she'll see, look in the cabinet. Where's the peanut butter? Well, you see, what happened was.
Yeah, that peanut butter bill. Every fighter house, I feel like has a high peanut butter bill.
Probably.
So how long have you actually been doing Muay Thai?
Oh, jeez.
By the way, I'm sorry, I'm rude. This is me. I'm Matt from Warrior Fightwear, and this is Coach Meals. He's the head of Driven Gym, and also he's used as a teacher here at Nick Catones for teaching Muay Thai, and has very extensive background. So how long, Coach Meals, have you been doing Muay Thai?
Since I was a kid, man, like I started training. I mean, obviously as a kid you can't really totally commit to training, but like I got my first taste of Muay Thai when I was like 10 years old.
Oh wow.
And off and on, and I can say that I actually committed myself when I was about 17, 18 years old. Like really committed to it.
You did competition at that point, I'm guessing?
Competition, yeah. I competed when I was first time 14 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, for a while. It's been a while.
So you did amateurs for how long, and you did pro fights, I guess, as well?
Yeah. A long time. A long time, man.
Might be a dumb question, but how much do you actually feel like you learn more as an amateur or as a pro? Like, you know what I mean?
You know what? I learned more as a professional, as a pro. Pro is when I really was able to like take a look at it, like look at what I'm doing, and actually had good coaching, and and really started. I mean, you train Muay Thai, you have to go to Thailand, and that's where I really started to pick things up and learn, and study. think my brain grew a little bit, you know.
Take a few head kicks, but you know your brain does grow. When did you go to Thailand? So you're training, and you know you're 17 or your 20s. What age did you actually go to Thailand? Up your
in my 20s. 20s the first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
What made you want to go? Did you see something? You see some Senkai picture? What happened?
No, just the motherland, you know.
Just always want to go.
Yeah, always want to go. Yeah, I think it was my 20s. My 20s. Maybe 30. Maybe 30 actually the first time I went. Because I didn't go. Yeah, maybe 30. Yeah.
Do you have any personal like teachers that you had that you like, you know, say like that guy is someone I still take their teachings and lessons with me? I don't know if it's a Thailand teacher or someone in the States. I'm not sure.
Definitely Thailand. Anyone that you work with at a good camp in Thailand is gonna give you something magical.
You know any crews I can look up? You say any names? Maybe I can.
For in the States.
Thailand.
Oh, in Thailand.
I know they have crazy names.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. Like, one of my favorite camps that I go to is called Sidney Outlaw.
No?
Sidney Outlaw is in Hua Hin, and Hua Hin is like near Phuket. I like those guys a lot there. Obviously, I'm friendly with Ben Chamek. Ben Chamek is Borkhow's camp.
Right.
We started training there when they were in Bangkok still. Now they're in Chiang Mai and Borkhow Village. It really, honestly, like any camp that you go to in Thailand, it's just an experience that you have to have. Like, it's not. Anywhere you go, you're gonna learn something amazing. You know.
What about, like, I hear when a lot of people go to Thailand, it's like a different level of, like, you know, when you're sparring with these people. And it's funny because it's a lot of play fighting when you see Thais.
Right,
spar.
so here's the misconception that a lot of Americans have about sparring. Sparring isn't about learning if you can get hit or not. It's not. Because physiologically, we're all the same. You get hit in a certain way, your brain's going to shake, slap against the wall of your head, and then you fall.
Yeah.
Or you get buckled, you know, your body's all the same. There's no such thing as building up your chin, building up resistance to getting hit. Maybe mentally you can learn how, like, because sometimes you get rocked and you're okay, but it's like a game in your head, like oh crap, you know, or, you know, let's go.
Right.
Maybe that you can train, but it's hard sparring is stupid. You know, if you take a look at the Thais, they have 200, 300 fights, 400 fights even.
Right.
Why are they able to do that?
They're not getting hurt as much.
Right, because when you go to Thailand, you spar with a Thai. Usually it's like, it's very fast paced, but you're not sparring hard. You're training your reactions, your reflections.
Right.
Your reflexes, you know? But here, what happens, like, you go hard, and your brain goes into, like, fight or flight mode.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
And then, how many times have you ever left sparring and you're like, you know, what happened? Like, how did I do? You know?
Right,
you have
right.
to ask somebody else how you did. When in reality, you should walk away with, like, a lesson every time you spar. You know, not just a lesson to keep your hands up.
Right.
But more so like, oh, that's how I do it, you know?
Right.
You know?
I like that, man. Very important because, like, you're right. Everybody slugs it out. I just want to value your time.
Yeah.
Sidney Outlaw is basically on our team. I wanted to ask you, like, how long have you been training with Sidney, and, you know, what was it like to train with that crazy guy?
Sidney, man, it's been like a few years, maybe like 4 years, I think, something like that. Sidney and I, we had, you know, we messed around a little bit before. He's always been a part of the same team. Like, I'm you know, Henzo Gracie, Ricardo Almeida, you know, we're all one big team. That's a beautiful team. And we met before. We said that we wanted to train together before. He wanted to work with me, but it didn't happen like right away. We had just kind of like talked about it, and then more so, maybe 4 years ago, somebody sent me a message. One of his friends, Helen, sent me a message and was like, "Hey, you know, would you consider working with Sidney?" And I was like, "Yeah, we talked about it years ago." You know? So, yeah, but Sidney, see, he's special, man. He's good. He's really good. He's still young, you know, young in the game still, and he's got a lot of potential.
What was your first thing when you didn't see, like, he comes into your gym, we bring you back like years ago, you first see this kid, what was running through your mind?
I was excited because I knew who he was already.
Oh wow!
You know, I knew who he was already. I had fighters fight on the same card at Bellator that he did, that he fought on. So,
oh wow!
And we were in the same corner. I think he was working with Mark Henry at the time. And then, so you know, I knew who he was. And when he walked in, I was like, oh, awesome, you know, another first and foremost, I think about my other fighters in the room before I think, because I do this because I love it, and I do this because I feel like I have a gift to share.
You do.
With people, you know.
Before I stop you, there's certain people that know how to fight, and there's certain people that know how to teach. And I feel like you know both.
Yeah. Well, I feel like my calling in life is sharing my teaching. You know, fighting, I love to fight. But I mean, obviously, like, you know, I didn't always do too well fighting because I just loved it more than I trained it. You know, more than I really committed to getting ready for fights. I just was like, you know, I was a street kid growing up, and
right.
And I was like, yeah, sure, I can make a little money fighting. You know, yeah, I train. You know, but there's a difference between training and learning and training and fighting. You know, and training to fight.
Right.
And I didn't really figure that out until later in life, you know. Hindsight's always 20/20, but I think everything happens for a reason. I think that my calling in life is to coach, to teach. I think it's, you know, it's something that I find really easy, and I guess I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I learned stuff. I come from a completely different background. I just dabble in Muay Thai. I want to go to your gym, but before you said about, like, don't you think it is valuable as a coach because you've been in there? I mean, some coaches.
Yeah, no. So some coaches, like. So you can get a really good coach that's never fought before, and he's a phenomenal coach. You know, I don't want to be the guy that says, like, you can't coach a fighter unless you fought. Yeah, you can. There's guys who are good coaches. I won't say any names, but because I'm not like that. But there's guys.
Well, Ray Longo. I know Ray Longo has never fought. He's a great coach.
He's a phenomenal coach. There's guys who are really good coaches that just kind of understand things, and like they can see things, but they just can't do it themselves.
Do you feel like when you're in there and you're like, go, 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 but if you've been in there, you feel like you understand
I feel like you understand the mentality, you know, like just from like the walkout, you know, the nerves.
Right.
Because there's so much more. There's so much that happens outside of the ring that's gonna define what happens inside. You know, before, like, people that you're around, you know, people that you're talking to, you know, makes a big difference. Like, if you're just, like, if your focus is wrong outside of the cage or the ring, whatever it is, it's not gonna work. You know, you have to, there's a certain focus that you have to have. There's a certain, it's mentally, it's a big mental thing. So, you know, I guess it's a good thing to have, like, experience, like being in there, whether you win or lost, you know, just being in there to know, like, the jitters that you go through, you know, everything that you deal with. That right there is a big thing. Fighting itself, it's good, you know, but like, I feel like as long as you understand the art that you're instructing, and you really, like, legitimately, like, know it and know how to teach it and enunciate it, then you're a good coach. You know, you could be a good coach. But a fight coach is different than, like, an instructor coach.
Right,
you know?
right.
Fight coach, I think it's good to have at least one. Win, lose, don't matter.
Exactly.
Just at least one.
Know what it's like,
you know, to know mentally, because mentally is the biggest part. I said 80% at least, maybe more.
Because you're ultimately coaching a guy that you don't know what it's like to be in his position.
Yeah, if you've never been in there, it's a big deal. I mean, and like, some would say it's a big deal to, like, if you've never fought at a high level, like, because it is different.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Sure.
I've coached fighters, and I've coached at the UFC before. I've been in corners at the UFC before, and it is a big difference. Like, to handle, you know, the lights, the interviews, like everything that most people don't see outside of the ring. Like, it's a big deal to be able to handle that mentally. Right. But I still think you can be a good coach at that level.
Excellent.
You know, even if you haven't been there.
Awesome. I just want to get a little bit more on your gym. So basically, I want a little more story on your gym. So like, how did that start? And you know, I want also to I know we got somebody fighting tonight, you know, but I really want your story of your gym first.
All right. So I opened my first gym in 2005. It was called Cornerstone Martial Arts, and I was 22 years old. Yeah, 22 years old. Because I just felt like a calling to do that. I felt like I wanted to share my passion for this stuff with other people.
Wow.
And at the time, like I was like, I think I could make some money doing it too. But more so, it was like a calling. I literally, like, I sat with my wife and I prayed. I prayed about it, and I was like, God, if this is something that you want, then give me a name. Like, give me a name.
Wow.
Like, what do I call it? And I started reading, because I'm a Christian, you know. I read the Bible. This is my life. This is what I do.
Right, lifestyle random shit happens for a reason.
So I read, and I came across a verse that really stuck out, and the first word, one of the words in it was cornerstone, and I was like, cornerstone, that's a strong word. And then that's how it came about, like cornerstone martial arts. Like, so I was like, okay, then this is what I'm supposed to do. So I did it. You know, I had no business sense at all. I just had a passion. I grew my gym to like pretty decent size, and then I realized that I probably should have people in contracts instead of just letting them pay month to month.
Oh wow!
You know, and it was only me there, and yeah, it sucked to run a business by yourself. So I just, in 2007, I was like, you know what? It's either my marriage or my business, and I'm committed to my marriage for life. So I had to let it go, you know.
Wow, wow.
So, but during that time, I still continued training, still continued coaching a few people. In 2009, I opened up another gym because I got laid off, and I was like, this is the only thing I know. This is all I know. You know, I'm a hard worker, but I have no skill, so this is what I know. So I got laid off from Union County. I was working at Public Works, and they laid me off in 2009 when the economy crashed.
Wow,
and,
right.
So I was like, I'm gonna take some money and open up another gym. So I opened up a gym called Camp Sao Lac. Camp Sao Lac was more Thai than anything, but obviously I have a love for MMA. I'm a brown belt in Jiu-Jitsu under Henzo.
Oh wow, wow.
You know, well, actually I'm under Tom DeBlas now.
That's still good. Ocean County, right? Ocean County. Yep.
So I opened up another school, Camp Sao Lac, and it grew ridiculously, really fast. And then I moved to another place, and it grew even more. And I had a disagreement with the guy who owned the place, so I opened up another spot. And then I think my leash ran out on the place, and I was just at a difficult point in life. And I didn't close. I just kind of moved to another spot. And then, I got another spot, and then I ran the lease out on that, and then I moved to combine with another gym because I needed a bigger place.
Right.
So I moved to combine with another gym, and that gym was going really well, but we just had like a disagreement. I won't say any names at all.
Right. Don't need to.
But it was a huge gym. It was we had a lot of really good fighters, and it just fell apart because of a disagreement. And then myself and my partner, who joined my gym in 2005, 2006, and we've been together ever since. He was like, I want to teach too, and he's very good. So I was like, you know what? Let's go. So we went to Thailand for the first time in 2012, 2013, and that's where Driven came. Like, we were like, are we gonna do this or what? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So we came back from Thailand and found a spot maybe 6 months later and opened up.
Wow. So how'd you come up with the name? You were in Thailand. You're just like.
So Driven is something that's been in my heart for a while. Like it just popped into my head. I was like, if I ever open up another gym, it's gonna be called Driven.
I love that name
because driven is a very strong word.
Yes.
It's like you can't break a driven man.
No.
Like you can't make him quit. You can't. He's driven, you know.
Right.
And that's what I live by.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And so, guys, there's gonna be more interviews and stories coming out of Coach James Meals' gym, Driven Gym. You guys are gonna see some cool stuff. We got fighters tonight. You can shout out a couple of your fighters that are gonna be on. I guess of course the main.
I mean, there's
card.
people from here that I work with, because I work with a lot of people from here. You know, Paul Capaldo, Justin Clark, Nate Foltz, Santo Curtolo, Nico,
right? He's fighting the main.
Yeah,
right,
Mata's the main event. Yeah, I work with all those guys, so it's not just Driven Gym. It's a big team.
Excellent. So you're gonna see more from that. We're gonna just show you guys more cool stuff. And thank you, James, so much for having an interview with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
See you guys later.
Yep.